Hi, my name is Mike Wasserman from Sovereign Systems. I'm going to be providing a short overview of the SAP Business Objects Health Analytics platform today. Our goal is to run through a short overview of the SAP Business Objects Suite, followed by an introduction of SAP Lumira for visualization, finally followed by a quick overview of the Sovereign Learning Management platform. Let's take a look at the SAP Business Objects Suite. SAP Business Objects is leveraged by many of the leading electronic health record vendors such as Cerner, Epic, McKesson, and many more. Historically, customers have used SAP Business Objects for pixel-perfect reporting with Crystal Reports, which is leveraged to distribute reports to many users via email and other distribution methods. However, there's limited interaction for end users with Crystal Reports. For more deep dive analysis, SAP Business Objects customers have leveraged a tool called Web Intelligence. However, more recently, customers have begun to use visualization tools such as Lumira and Explorer. The nice thing about SAP Business Objects is it's an integrated platform with a single integrated security model leveraging the same abstraction layer known as the universe to allow users to go in and analyze data regardless of the tool that they're in. This allows customers to get a very quick time to value leveraging business objects for all their analytical needs and a far greater return on investment versus some customers we've seen who try to leverage multiple tools for these different capabilities. More importantly, many of the electronic health record vendors are now developing and distributing and publishing universes to be used across all these tools, such as Epic and Cerner and McKesson. Now let's take a look at the Lumira desktop tool. As I mentioned, Lumira is a desktop application which is installed on the end user's desktop or laptop. Unlike some of the classic tools such as Web Intelligence or Crystal Reports or even Explorer, Lumira is delivered in a desktop environment. However, it has a capability to connect directly into an existing SAP Business Objects environment. Why this is important and what we're going to review today is a capability to go in and analyze an existing universe that can be developed by either your health analytics department, your IT department, or as I mentioned earlier, through your electronic health record vendor who are often building these universes today for patient billing or chronic disease management. As you can see here, I'm using the Lumira desktop to go and connect into an existing SAP Business Objects environment. Once I'm connected in, I can see all the different universes that I have available. For today's demo, I'm going to go and leverage a data warehouse that we've built on the Sovereign side that consists of CDC data for disease as well as reimbursement and health cost information. Once I select that universe, you can see that the various objects and measures are available to me to do analysis. As you notice, typically when you build a universe, it's designed to be leveraged by a functional user versus an IT developer. This allows direct interaction with the data, which is critically important today if I'm looking at chronic disease or if I'm in finance looking at patient billing. I don't want to have to rely on someone in IT that really doesn't understand my data to build a report for me, which takes considerable amount of time and doesn't allow me to interact with the data and identify trends. So I'm going to quickly go and select all these objects. Once I have these selected, I'll click Next. Lumira is now communicating again directly with SAP Business Objects, which is pulling back the data that I need to actually perform my analysis. Now again, I'm doing this on a set of data that we've leveraged from the CDC and payer provider information from a few other areas, but I've seen this used very effectively lately with chronic disease and other universes that are provided in a healthcare environment. Now you can see with Lumira, if you wanted to have a more exhaustive overview of the capabilities of Lumira, Sovereign has a learning management platform that allows an end user to go in, watch videos for the different tools. For example, here we have a deeper training environment for Lumira with the Sovereign Learning Management platform. But for today's example, I'm just going to go quickly through a visualization example that I've built for us to review. Now you can see in the left hand over here side I have my measures and I have my dimensions. In this middle area I have the various visualizations that I'm going to interact with, which will be displayed on the right hand side. The first thing I'm going to do is take a look at cases reported as a measure. For my dimensions, I'll add in disease description. You can see I have my different diseases over many years. I'm going to change this to a column chart. And then finally, I want to aggregate that by year range. This gives me a nice view of disease types and how they change year over year. So you can see my cases increasing from 1998 all the way up through 2012 across several different categories: arthritis, cancer, coronary, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Now, this sample's been built from the perspective of understanding, for example, where I may want to open up a new clinic for a specific disease. In this example, I want to take a look specifically at a few diseases to see how they're trending over time and what the reimbursement rate looks like from an insurance company specifically for those diseases. To be able to do that, the next thing I'm going to do is another column chart, but I want to take specifically a look at cost per hospital stay and compare that to provider paid amount. Now I want to look at multiple y-axes to allow me to accomplish this. So I'm going to actually change this visualization. And add provider paid amount. And finally, I'll categorize this by disease description. Now you can see there's too many data points in here, but that's okay because I want to take a look at a few specific diseases. So I'm going to add a filter for the diseases I'm most interested in, which are arthritis, coronary heart disease, and standard heart disease. And now I can begin to see a little bit more accurately how my data is laying out. More precisely, I can see, for example, the cost per hospital stay for arthritis compared to the hospital stay for coronary heart disease, and regular heart disease. I can also take a look now at provider paid amount. So I can see my cost for arthritis from 1998 to 2000, and I can compare that to my actual reimbursement amount or my provider paid amount. The purpose of this is to allow me to analyze cost per hospital stay versus the actual provider paid amount. For this example, I've noticed that the reimbursement amount for arthritis is generally better than some of the other diseases in the sample set. My next visualization will allow me to actually look at the different insurance provider types and the percentage reimbursement rates per provider. I'll use my pie chart to be precise. I select that. I'll analyze next provider paid amount, and the dimensions I'll add will be disease description and insurance provider description. I want to add my filter again for just arthritis this time. And that allows me to see specific reimbursement rates. What I'm going to do next is take a look at provider percentage to see the actual percentage reimbursement rates. You can see private insurance is paying about 93% compared to Medicaid at 41, Medicare at 78, out of pocket at 38, and other at 80%. The next question I have is, in this private area, what do the patient demographics look like, or subscriber demographics? To do this, I can create a quick heat map that allows me to visualize the specific populations that may be more suitable for, say, a specialty or a practice focusing on arthritis. If I add provider percentage to my measure for my heat map and add location description next, I can see my demographics are broken into northeast and south. Next, I will add insurance provider description. And this allows me to see my different types of insurance: private, out of pocket, other, Medicare, Medicaid. I can now add additional dimensions on top of location, such as urbanacity, gender, and income level. This gives me a nice view of the different areas I potentially would want to target for my arthritis specialty or arthritis practice. Now that I've built my heat map, I want to provide my filter, allowing me to focus on specifically arthritis patients. And I can see my heat map begin to focus on the specific populations I want to target that have a higher reimbursement rate. In fact, I can color code these to make it easier to identify my target population. And now you can see I have the demographics that I might want to target if I'm going to open an arthritis clinic specifically in say, Metropolitan Northeast, where my provider percentage reimbursement rates are higher, my non-metropolitan Northeast, and the same with my South Metropolitan or non-metropolitan. SAP Lumira also gives me the opportunity to build short storyboards where I can compose these into a shareable file. And then finally, provides me the opportunity to share this to the cloud or back to SAP Business Objects. Once again, if you want to have a deeper overview of how to interact with SAP Lumira or any of the applications in the Business Object Suite, we have a learning management platform which is cloud-based that allows you to go through, watch specific learning videos, and then have a hands-on experience with a cloud-based lab so you can actually practice the same video you've just watched to learn how to leverage Web Intelligence, Explorer, Lumira, etc. In conclusion, I hope this provided the art of the possible with SAP Lumira for healthcare customers. If you have any questions, reach out to Sovereign Systems or contact myself at the email address below or Carrie O'Leary. That's it for today, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this short video.